I love Kitchener Waterloo. I was born and raised in Kitchener. My family is here. My immediate family. I have two older sisters. My dad unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but my mom is here. Brett and I, my husband, we've built our family here. We have phenomenal universities. We have everything. Like I think we're in the middle, and you can drive to Toronto if you want more entertainment or more shopping. You can drive to London if you want to. In my opinion, I don't know why I would ever move. I will never move. I don't think. I've been able to watch the city grow. It's been a beautiful experience to watch everything. Like what we went from Kitchener being such a thriving manufacturing town, and then it was Waterloo, and that became now we're the Silicon of the North. So it's very proud. Like I'm very proud when I say to people, yeah, I live in Kitchener and the Waterloo region, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah, and then and they start to pinpoint, oh, so it's University of Waterloo, or that they'll start naming certain things. So I'm very very fortunate and very grateful to be here. I think it's an amazing and I've heard other people say it is that even though there's been so much growth, I think there's so much more growth to happen, but we still are a community. People are still friendly, they're happy, they want to help each other. Uh, the more you get involved in the community, the more you build those relationships, you build those friendships. And I'm truly grateful. I'm grateful that a community is one of our core values, and being able to give back to a community that has given us so much is one of our major things that we love to do as well. So yeah, I can't imagine being anywhere else. We have several values, but I'd say our top four would be family, number one. I know I was often told early in my career that, oh, Irene, you take things too personal. It's only business. And then as you grow up that way, you start to get a little bit callous, for lack of better words, or jaded. However, I don't believe that, because when you deal with people, that is personal. Like you have that connection with somebody. You either do or you don't. And if you don't, you shouldn't be working with that person, number one. Because how do you build that trust in order to ensure that that person is going to help you succeed? And so for us, family, so on a personal basis, family is number one to me. Although I'm very proud of what I've built, I'm very proud of um, what we've established, what we stand for, what we help, how we can help other people. First and foremost, I'm a wife and I'm a mother. And hands down, if my family needs me, that's where I go. That's been frustrating in the past because there's been lots of things I'd want to do on the professional and the career side. However, tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and this could all be taken away from us tomorrow. But the one thing that you always know is that your family's there. Your family will always have your back. And and I, and I think one of the key things that helped, along with the Magellan Group lady that I talked about earlier, with the energy and the enthusiasm, the other key exercise that I went through that really changed my perspective and changed my life was the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I didn't read the book. I was actually, that's the days of the CDs in the car. So I was driving and I was listening to this one exercise. And then as he takes you through the exercise, and if you haven't done it, it's old, but you should do it because it's super super effective and highly impactful. And so you go through this exercise, and really what he's doing is he's trying to get you to determine what your definition of success is. Excuse me. And so when I went through that, I think about this often, and I think, wow, like, what do I want people to write on my tombstone? That I've been a perennial sales leader and she won all these awards? No, I want on my tombstone. Well, I won't have one, but when people think of me when I pass away, I want them to go, wow, you know what? When Irene walked in the room, I could feel her warmth. She put a smile on my face. Like she was always there to help me. Like she knew what she was talking about. Like she was the first one to stand by me. She got my back. Like that's what my definition of success is. So when you look at all of this and you add that personal into your professional, then we add that to the professional side and say, okay, so if family is so important to me, you know what? Your family is important to me. I want that whole intergenerational transfer of wealth, for lack of better words. I want grandparents, I want parents, I want children, I want grandchildren, because I want to keep that whole family together. Because isn't that incredible if you have an advisor that has an associate there for every one of those life stages, and you don't have to go anywhere else, that person's been with you, and you've built that trust and you've built that relationship with that individual. Because if it's so important for me to take care of my family, I want to make sure that my team and their families are taken care of, and then we want to make sure that you and your family is taken care of. So family is very very important as one of our core values for sure. Second one is collaborative. Like again, I'd love to tell you that I know everything, which I don't. So, but I know where to go find the resources, where I know to go find those experts. So you need to collaboratively work together in order to make sure that any plan succeeds. So collaborative is very, very important to us as well. Trust. That probably should be number one, is trust, especially with money. Like you need to make sure that you trust the individual who's holding your money and is holding your life savings and your goals and your retirement and your whatever your goal ends up being, whether it's a house, whether it's educating your kids, whether it's taking care of your children, whether it's a legacy. I've built all this wealth. Now what do I do with it? How do I protect it? Am I going to be okay? So you need to have that trust with that individual and that team and that group of people in order to ensure that you can succeed. And then I would say the last one that's very important to us is community. I'm a big believer that when you're good to yourself, you're good to your family, you're good to your community, that success will just find you. And being in community to us, as I mentioned previously, was that we are so grateful for everything that the community has done for us, and especially in the Kitchener Waterloo area at Cambridge, like the amount of programs that you can access and free or next to nothing for so many individuals. That it doesn't matter what demographic or what life stage that you're in, that they offer is pretty incredible. So we certainly, everything that we do, we always want to give back to our community as well, because I think that's quite important.